Alright, hello to all my guys, gals, and non-binary pals out there across the electrical ocean. This is Jazzman back with the game. We have Vampiro again, who is, he was denied from that font of Elvesrule by the Dead Zone Voodoo. I wanted to get a good game between two good players. I mean, Vampiro was just here. You know, this is sort of what happens. The problem, like the last game with Vampiro, didn't turn out to be very entertaining in my opinion, so I was hoping to get one of him against someone who could actually play the game. And Elvesrule is definitely one such player. He's got witches, I'm assuming witches with, I guess, Rift Lord for Dead Magic Zone. And then, you know, he Dead Zone Voodooed this pincushion out of the font, so that might just be GG here. Vampiro has Bunny Lord. What are you running Bunny Lord for? Is this beasts? Or is it just like anti-summons? I don't know about putting down that Arroyo Rift versus Bunny Lord. Because Bunny Lord can literally just one-tap these summons and get free meat. I guess, you know, deflect. No, yeah, he doesn't have divert. He has deflect. So yeah, that may be a little bit presumptuous by Elvesrule, but he is in a good position. I mean, he has mid-font. And he's putting the Enervating Collar for Energy Thief, so Pincushion can't actually get into the font, even with a relic. But, yeah, was that... that wasn't really good, though. Like, Bunny Lord can just leap. Like, okay, and he can even relic contest with the Nightmare here. But yeah, Bunny Lord can totally just leap over that Energy Thief and be fine, right? So it's not like he's really blocking him from the font. He's basically forcing Bunny Lord to contest. Which, I mean, maybe a bit too bold of Vampiro here. Arroyo can double tap, which can do an attack. So maybe, oh, he's moving in with Pincushion anyway. So I guess, I don't know about that, Vampiro. See now, like, your Pincushion's gonna get double hit. Maybe even an Essence Drain. Wait, what the heck? Oh, there's a Deep Elf Scout out. Okay. I heard the sound effect go off of the curse, and I was like, there's something else. There's got to be something else. But yeah, Deep Elf Scout grabbing that bot font. I completely forgot that there was a bot font on this map. Yes, please don't judge me too harshly. I am a simple noob. I came back to the game not knowing anything at all. Beautiful new baby Tabak Snora, and the Deep Elf Scout could probably be like right around here maybe, because he's blocking, like, Elvesrule is anticipating this top font grab, and he's blocking the Scout with the spirits. So I guess him knowing that the Scout was out probably was the reason he put down those spirits and risked the swarm from Bunny Lord. If I were Vampiro, I would totally be angling that Bunny Lord towards the spirits right now, and not over here for whatever reason. I guess he's gonna try and, like, brute force it and just kill the Inkblade. But Elvesrule, of course, is not having any of that. It is a little bit odd that Vampiro just let him have that font rather than leaping in for the contest. I guess he was maybe expecting a second Dead Zone Voodoo. But you never know with Elvesrule. What was that? Coven Claw? What was that sound effect just now? I guess we'll find out. So Flame Strike is available. Elvesrule positioning nice and cozy up against that font there. Coven Claw is pretty sweet. I've always liked this champion's gimmick. So Essence Claw is sort of like Take Prisoner, except it gives warding and not Bodyguard and Careless. But yeah, it's only 12 HP, the copy, so I guess you risk getting swarmed, but, you know, you can get a free champion. I'm pretty sure it resets abilities, like ability cooldowns as well, because it dies first and then, yeah, destroys, and then you get a copy. I don't know, you could steal some pretty nifty stuff with that ability. I wish it wasn't such a long cooldown, though. I really feel like 5 turns is it's too long. The ability is not strong enough to warrant that, but it looks like Vampiro is going in for the Harb attack. Oh, you could totally... 7... I mean, I'm pretty sure he could just get a swarm here. Why is he not doing that? Nightmare going in. Nightmare is nice on this map because he can just walk over this lava, threaten contest on top all game. And he could be in mid. Nightmare is pretty chunky, so I don't think Vampiro will hesitate to put him in mid. He wants to play around Dead Zone Voodoo again. He got punished once, and never again. So into the font he goes after a Flame Strike. I guess Scrofula here is just a cheap body with Elvesrule Coven. That's sort of his entire purpose. Shade Strike with Dead Zone Voodoo could maybe come into play. But yeah, here comes old Bunny Lord. Wait, what? He had the Swarm. Bruh, what are you doing here? He had 7 AP here, and he could have swarmed this Rift Spirit, but he chose not to. There's gotta be something I'm missing, right? There's no, like, ritual ability out? Okay, so I guess he just sat his thing. I guess now that he went for the contest, like, getting a swarm here is a no-brainer, right? He had 7 AP, their Energy Thief is over here. I don't know what I'm missing, but he decided not to go for the swarm, so okay. Sat his Bunny Lord on 6 AP. Like, having the swarm here would engage this spirit as well as the Rift Lord, and would prevent Elvesrule from going back here to contest with the relic, but I don't know. It's utterly inexplicable to me why he didn't swarm. This is deflect, right? Okay, so it's not divert. It's not Dead Zone Voodoo because Nightmare already moved in. It's something, but Vampiro just didn't want it. He didn't want it badly enough, I guess. But Deep Elf Scout is kind of underrated. He's another really cheap guy. I think I mentioned in the last Vampiro game that really there are still some outliers, not in the sense that they're overpowered, just that there are existing some cheap bodies like that can nab fonts. Scout is nice because he comes in stealthed, and then he brings detection and anti-equip along with him. So it's a pretty good deal you're paying for him. On some maps you can just ninja side fonts with it like this without any repercussion. And yeah, so this is already looking like it's going to be an interesting game. I was a little worried at that Dead Zone Voodoo, but Elvesrule replying in kind with Inkblight Witch contest. And I think here instead of the Flame Strike, I maybe would have liked to see him saving AP and threatening grabbing top with like a Price of Victory or something, rather than burning it all on the Flame Strike. I guess he's not wanting to spread his resources that thin, because he'd have Scout in this font, he'd have this font contested plus this font, he'd have to spend Nora contesting, but and then there'd of course still be mid. There's a lot of fonts on this map, a lot of ways that you can have your stuff stolen, a lot of ways to trade back and forth. Pincushion here is engaging, or well, walking into the font, and Bunny Lord is eyeing up that side here. Now looking for the swarm. He's going to be like 2 damage short because of the banner, so I guess Deep Elf Scout is going to have to deal with that. Although once these Rift Spirits leave their dead magic zone, they lose an HP every turn. I would probably give the advantage to Vampiro here. The Inkblight Witch, the thing is, once the Nightmare dies, Elvesrule is going to have a huge swing in his favor, because he'll have this font pretty much under lock. He'll have the copy, presumably, with the Coven, with the Claw. And, a Siege Monger. Oh, without Seism. Oh, that would have been so sweet to see the banner pop and then these spirits go down a peg. But so Siege Monger's in play, which means no more relics from either side. Which I guess I'm assuming is why he's sending his Deep Elf Scout rather than like just dropping relic, because he's running Siege Monger, right? So he's probably not running very many relics in his deck, which is why he's not threatening this side font as much as he could have been. But Pincushion here is sort of like the buffer between the Harb and whatever Elvesrule is going to do. Inkblight Witch is a pretty good 1v1 champ though. The problem is Harb is 6 range and puts a damper on things. But here, like, Bunny Lord is fairly well positioned. Elvesrule is going to have to run these spirits all the way away if he wants to avoid a swarm. But then if he does that, Deep Elf Scout can just take them out. Honestly, Vampiro has no reason to de-stealth his Scout here. If he can just easily keep that thing in stealth and just wait for these things to die. There's a Steal Life on the Nightmare. We're going to see a Curse here. Yeah, a Curse, and then probably a Claw. Give him the Claw. Come on. I want to see the clone. He does do... Yeah, there you go. Get that claw. You see, he comes in like basically a redeploy, so he has initiative as well. No UD faction bonus though, but you know, he's still a guy. Now the problem again is that Bunny Lord can just leap over there and swarm that, which is made easier by the fact that he has Fire Eater upgraded, so he can just leap onto the lava and not be impeded by that. Has just enough damage to get that swarm. Maybe giving in the claw wasn't the best choice by Elvesrule. But I mean, Vampiro has passed up a swarm before, so maybe he'll do it again. The spirits looking in vain for the Deep Elf Scout. And this is a lot of, like, this is 100 Nora that Elvesrule has had to dedicate to finding the 50 Nora Scout, and even more now that Maleficia is in play. So he's going to be spending all that AP looking for Scout as well. And then, like, Vampiro is pretty well positioned over here. Inkblight Witch can't, like, 1v3 or anything. So Elvesrule is... he's got to consolidate a little bit, but yeah, he's moving the Nightmare out of Swarm range. Actually, not quite out of Swarm range. He's still one short. That... Oh, come on! Don't get the kill with the Harb. Okay, he's gonna hit the Coven Claw instead. Yeah, because he could do Leap. That would put him at 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's a Swarm, and then Magma Bunny has Fire Eater, so he can still spawn on the lava. But it looks like Siege Monger is going to take the Pincushion's place here. The Pincushion is definitely the safer choice. Retribution. Okay, well, I was completely wrong. He's going to get the swarm with Bunny Lord onto the Coven Claw. Is it enough? It's exactly enough. Damn, that was a well-calculated kill by Vampiro. So, sacrificing the basically full HP Pincushion for that swarm, and that just swings the game even further in Vampiro's favor here. I mean, the Fiery Ambush, I'm assuming on this font, to take care of the spirits and delay Maleficia from spotting the Scout. Maybe it's on mid, actually. Maybe he'll... I don't think I'd put it mid. I think I'd definitely put it over here to just aid your Scout a little more, because if the Scout gets found, it's pretty much dead. So you'd want to get rid of all that AP that Elvesrule has to work with. Yep, there it goes. So down go the spirits, and Rift Lord really can't move around now. So Scout is perfectly fine, and Siege Monger just chilling, 60 HP for 66 Nora. And yeah, he moved the Bunny Lord. I guess moving Bunny Lord in was fine. The problem is for Scrofula that Ponderous would have prevented a double tap. I maybe would have favored saving AP. Ooh, there's the Bone Circle. Okay, so there's maybe what Vampiro was playing around. I thought about it earlier, but I was like, if he just gets one swarm, then like Ritual is on a 3-turn cooldown, so you just get another swarm instead. And I think even if he forced out the Bone Circle with that play around here, it would have cut into Elvesrule's Nora even more, especially now that, you know, when the Scout was in the font. But Elvesrule definitely the type to pack counters like this. Bone Circle is really nice, just in general. Dealing with summons. It jumps around whenever your champion dies, so it never really goes away, meaning you'll always have a good summon counter in play. So, I mean, at this point, Elvesrule doesn't have a lot going for him. He has this bottom font under control for the moment, but now that he... the Harb is going to find itself split two ways, but I think a price of victory here probably just wins the game, right? Because Bunny Lord can get the swarm on the Maleficia with the Harb double attack, and then, I don't know, Siege Monger can start wailing away at the Inkblight Witch. Maybe Deep Elf Scout can even take out the banner and help the kill on the other side of the map. It doesn't look like Vampiros are going to go for it, though. You're just going to hit Scruffy. Are we going to see a contest, maybe? No, he's not. He doesn't have the AP. There's a Mindstorm. Okay, so he went with the Mindstorm instead. Not sure what his plan is. I guess maybe kill the banner with Scout and get the kill, but he should have done that first because, again, he would have gotten a swarm. Yeah, a little bit odd by Vampiro. Definitely price of victory there would have secured either one of these kills. And if he's not running many relics due to Siege Lord, then there's a good bet he's running more spells to make up for it. But he doesn't really have to do much down here. Like, Inkblade Witch can just stall forever, but eventually Siegemonger with multi-attack will take care of that. And he can even look to burn a key Dead Zone Voodoo by moving this guy around and then contest topside unhindered. Yeah, the Coven Claw didn't really end up doing much for Elvesrule there. It's kind of a shame it got immediately Retribution killed. And then, yeah, the Nightmare really not a match for Bunny Lord. Bunny Lord, I guess Vampiro is just running this as a tech option to deal with summons and other low HP champions, because I guess he's not running any beasts. Camaraderie and Boost kind of go to waste, especially Camaraderie, but I guess Boost does work on the swarms. So he's an 8-speed champion out of the gate. Fire Eater maybe has some synergy. Still wouldn't run it over something like, I don't know, Grief Bearer, Debuff Ritualist to deal with summons. But then, a Swarm is more potent of a counter than either of those abilities. So yeah, more spirits to deal with the Deep Elf Scout and the Fawn. The Deep Elf Scout has really paid for itself this game. Fucking 56 Nora, Elvesrule with no detection, poor guy. And another Inkblade. But I'm assuming this is going to be a Swarm, unless Dead Zone Voodoo happens. But Elvesrule has kind of been low on Nora because of the font situation. And what was that? More curse? Yeah. Scout becomes cursed again from walking around. But here's the Swarm again. The Swarm doesn't really mean much now because the Bone Circle just jumps and then you can just insta-kill it. But what's nice here is that the Swarm auto-grabs the globe. So that means more than just, having the summon out. The Magma Bunny summons... Magma Bunny was changed again for some reason. Now it has Leap 3 base, so it's a 7-speeder instead of an 8-speeder that it used to be. And, the summons are pretty good. With Leap 3, they can just be annoying, jump around, cut people off, and, a Sanguine comes down to help deal with the Inkblight Witch. And yeah, Elvesrule has pretty much lost the game at this point. Unless he can somehow make headway mid. Which I wouldn't expect, because, I think Nightmare's Flame Strike is already down. And then he's losing his Inkblight Witch eventually. Yeah, there's the summon pop, but who cares? It looks like Vampiro did put a stealthed relic in that font, unless... Oh no, he moved the Scout. Hey, there you go. Some big brain. And now this is nice because Elvesrule doesn't actually get Nora from this font this turn. Because you don't get Nora from a font on the turn you capture it, or recapture it in this case. So Elvesrule still loses the Nora from this font this turn and doesn't gain any from this font either, putting him further in the hole. I didn't know this was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, that's exactly 10 spaces away. So Scout had just enough AP to do that. Assuming he was on one of these corner spaces. So recontesting that top font, and then I guess Bunny Lord is just going to follow up. I guess, it does free up the Rift Lord, but Harb will live another turn, maybe get sacrificed. Unless, oh no, he's going to feed Energy Thief AP and then Curse. Okay, smart. So takes down the Harb. Then maybe, I guess you could feed more AP and then grab the Globe with the Inkblight. But it doesn't look like he's going to do that. He's just going to try and block, maybe with the Lava and the Nightmare. He's going to try and block these guys from getting to the Inkblight Witch. But that Blood Globe, he's got to eat the Blood Globe, otherwise Sanguine... Oh no, yeah, he used it last turn to get in close. Yeah, Sanguine, so it's a pretty nice defensive deploy, this guy. Scrapper and then Initiative. So you jump in with like a Blood Ball next to a guy that's capping your font, like Vampiro just did, then get an attack, instant Scrapper, and then you got another guy in the fight. And then bleed, and then so you basically just bleed them out and keep relocating next to them with Blood Balls. There's the scout. So he finally reveals himself, the pilfer. So no more shattering of the summons. And Dark Familiar coming down for Elvesrule. I have not seen much of this guy. He just takes too long to really get into play and do anything. Because the Elserai Dusk comes into play on cooldown. So you have to wait 4 turns before you can actually use him for anything, basically. And even then, like you have an 8-speed stealth guy with, like, he'll have decent stats for the price, but I don't think the long-term investment is worth it. My opinion. His only real advantage is that he's cheap. Exploit, I guess, is pretty nice in Witches. And then Veiled Flight. I think Veiled Flight is an interesting ability. So you gain flying when stealthed, and then that's all it is. I think something like, I don't know, Shadow Hunter could maybe get Veiled Flight and then be a grounded unit base. I don't know. It just always struck me as his type of ability. But Elvesrule managing to recapture mid here. The game's not quite over, to Elvesrule's credit. He's sort of banking on, I guess, the late game here with Forsaken Waste. I think if Forsaken Waste can survive under Depths' early aggression, they're pretty well set up to deal with whatever they've got, because they can one-round anything in the late game. So we got Rift Lord threatening contest on that bot side. And what else? So basically, Vampiro here is probably going to try and look to swarm that Nightmare again with the Bunny Lord, or again, swarm it with the Bunny Lord, if he can. Walking through the lava just for a nice little heal. And I think at the end of the day, like, Vampiro does have the swarm now that the staff has taken. Like, that's sort of his late game plan. No more relics for Elvesrule means loss of contestant opportunities. And here Nightmare goes for the Flame Strike. Be very careful about Flame Strike and wasting your AP on that around the Bunny Lord. Stitched Hexer with the stall, and then a Draco Lich for Elvesrule. Man, I've got a feud. I've got a bone to pick with Draco Lich from my last game against it. Fucking screwing me out of a Moby turn and embarrassing me quite heartily on video recording. But I don't mind the design. I think Absorb is a little hokey. Like, I don't know, just flavor-wise, doesn't seem like the type to have Absorb. But he has a good set of abilities. I mean, Blockade is really nice. One of the few 8-space AoEs remaining in the game. And contributes really well to disease or, death benefit style decks. But in comes the Swarm from the Bunny. Oh, he's one short because of the curse. And sadly, Vampiro cannot put out a relic like a War Banner because of Siege Monger. He's getting screwed by his own Tusker right now. Is this? Oh yeah, I was gonna say this is charge 1, so he can charge for 11. -1 is 10, and then get the Swarm that way. So he has ways to get the Swarm. It's just unfortunate that he has to use the AP on it. But yeah, here comes the free bunny. In it goes. And everyone loses. Wait, everyone gains 5 HP? Oh yeah, loyalty. The spirits have loyalty because of the summons changes. And I guess Sanguine. Maybe you could contest with Sanguine. No, he can't hit with Scrapper though, which is a little annoying. Is that another scout? No, it's a Goblin Sticky Fingers to defend. I'm assuming defend that bottom font. Goblin State. So with the Shadow Spawn upgrade, Sticky Fingers is like another 56 Nora champion. And I'm assuming that's what Vampiro is running him for. Just a bunch of cheap harassers in the early game to stall, while your main UD beaters get in there, getting in the opponent's face. So Sanguine jumps in with the Blood Ball teleport. Gets up Scrapper, nice defensive ability, but I think the problem here is that Elvesrule can just Dispel. Like, Forsaken Waste has counters to all this shit, you know? If it's not Dispel here, you can do a Soul Reave, you know? You can do a Soul Reeve, you can do an Essence Drain and just brute force it, or you can, you know, just click the ability. Give it a click, come on. Yeah, there you go. And I guess Vampiro is probably going to lose the Sanguine here. It's feeding AP with Energy Thief, so double, that's 22, 35. Not quite enough. Additional 3, this is such a weird ability, Censure. It's loss of life. I mean, it's a good ability. It's just, I don't know, it seems like a hodgepodge of different effects. Loss of life attack, 2 to 5 range. And then, oh yeah, Curse, Dead Magic Zone, 3 additional psychic damage. So Anathema comes out. And that will totally be a kill here on the Sanguine. And then I guess he can use the Rift Lord to just freely grab that bot side font. So Elvesrule managing to push back Vampiro's advance pretty well after all that harassing Deep Elf Scout did. So yeah, this has been a very nice game. A lot of back and forth, just the way I like them. Yeah, Vampiro doesn't really have much now. Like, he lost, like, his plan of the swarms is not going too well. So there's the Goblin. Unfortunately, no relic contest because of Siege. And it's unfortunate that he ran into that Goblin. Like, he could have picked any of these spaces to walk into, and he just had to pick the one with the Goblin in it. Very unlucky by Elvesrule. So Vampiro will hold on to that font for another turn. And Elves just getting screwed by the stealth here all game long. But he's played back into it really well. Hexer been drawing power for a while now. Just a little bit of extra Nora. I guess here, like, if you're Vampiro, I don't even know what I'd do in this situation. Like, your Bunny Lord shenanigans have not really been paying off. Just imagine how much further ahead he'd be if you had that early swarm. But Rift Lord here getting blinded. There's the Fanatic for more defense. It's pretty good. Brutality. I don't know if I take Brutality in this kind of deck, because you need Race, and literally none of these champions are demons or elves. Like, if you're running this many non-race champions, I'd just take one of the other upgrades at that point, you know? Because it doesn't seem like you'll be proccing that very often. Like, he also runs Altered Lemur, which I saw in the previous game. Another non-demon or elf champion, so yeah, I don't know if I take Brutality here. But yeah, Vampiro definitely a fan of the cheap harassers, like the Scout. That's sort of the problem I faced in my KF game earlier on in the channel. I think that was one of the last games I recorded before I took my break, is that if you can win the early game, but winning the early game does not help you win the whole game. And Elvesrule actually takes this one, so well played to both, and we'll see everyone in the next one.